All right, just working on the streaming part there for my other camera. Sorry about all the dead air. All right, well, I'll get that streaming up here in a moment. Hello to anybody who's dropped in. Looks like somebody might have or two. Welcome to Sunday Lazy Chat. like it's different from any other day, except we get to call it Sunday Lazy Chat. Let's get that up and running. There we go. All right. There we go. So we're up and running now. So I'm going to put that on as the stream. Go. Everybody can enjoy that. So good morning to anyone who's popped in. I'm just looking. Oh, somebody might have popped in. Having a good day, I hope. Watch my fish eat nori. Always a fun and exciting time. Actually, it is to me. So whatever. So if you've got any questions or topic of conversation, feel free to chime in on the chat. If you'd like to pop into the Hangout itself, that's always a thing we do. So let's get to quibbling. Or if you just want to watch my fat, lazy, happy fox face, you go right ahead. No problem with that. He's a big camera hog. You'll actually see that once he notices the camera's there, he'll get in front of it a lot. Hopefully I'm not lagging today. I was lagging earlier. Had a good discussion yesterday, and a good amount of people. Well, I guess 4 or 5 people come in, show off their tanks. That's what we're all here for. We're all a bit narcissistic and want people to see them. And let's face it, it's a lot better than seeing my still picture flashing on the screen to see live fish swimming around. Told you. There he is. Hey, look how big I am. Love how when the fish, depending on their colors, get in front of the camera, it causes the white balance to go off and it goes into a big adjustment mode. Not to figure out how to shut that off. Spock zooming around. Neon Goby getting some. Awesome as always. He was a supreme, him and Tuck. The blue-green chromas there were a rescue, so to speak. And they were both very underfed, looking kind of a little worse for wear. And I have returned with Java in hand. There you go. The breakfast of champions. Caffeine and tobacco. Excellent. So if anybody's joined me or is hanging out, feel free to say hi. Don't be shy. I wonder if we're going to get lucky and see my blood shrimp come out from the rocks today. See the cleaner. Join my tank, I hope. Oh, there he is there. Look at that. Mr. Blood Shrimp's come out. Hopefully he doesn't attack my cleaner shrimp. That'd be nice. We'll do a little focusing here. All right. Get the focus on the rock instead of focusing on the mushroom, I think it was. And Mr. Fox in front of the camera again. Sweet. All right. So anybody coming in, feel free to chat. I'm going to be here for a couple hours today or more. So a shot of my tank on a Sunday morning, nori sheet in the tank, get them the algae eaters. Got some nice thumbs up. We appreciate that. We'll get a few people in the hangout today showing off their tanks, spreading their knowledge. That just sounded wrong. There we go. Hopefully notifications went out. I know there's been an issue with that lately. Oh. Got my new pH probe working. Just a handheld, but it's pretty fabulous. Actually, I was quite stoked. It's pretty accurate. It's a lot easier to use that than to use my eyes and look at a green and try and figure out is it this green or that green. Didn't pay a lot for it, which is great. And there's no company on it, but I think it just says AC3 on the ATC is the company name. So if you're looking it up, say on Amazon or something, they're pretty inexpensive. I only paid $30. So don't feel free to check Amazon out and see if they carry it. Comes with everything to adjust it, um, including the pH 4.0 and the 6.89, so you can actually get an accurate reading, and it's pretty cool. I'll be testing my water here probably in another couple hours once daylight's kind of really established here. So good day to anybody coming in. Feel free to chat. Always welcome here. I'm getting a few people taking a look. Don't forget the thumbs up. I always appreciate them. You know, I'm making somebody's day, I guess. That up. I got to fix up the link. Should work. Yeah, it's sort of that daylight savings time messed me up, and my sugar swung out there at some point, so I had just a small nap, but I wound up until, well, I guess it was daylight savings time, almost 7 in the morning. How you doing there, Tom? I'm just correcting the link here. Right. Remove. So nice to see you, Tom. Always nice to see a friendly face pop in. Good to know. Excellent. Good to hear. How's the weather there? It snowed yesterday, but not a speck of it's left on the ground today. So might be seeing a nice early spring. That'd be sweet here. There you go. Today's going to be probably going to do a water change. So I'll probably disappear for a few minutes just to get a pump going and a heater for my salt water mix and get that mixing up. I got to watch out. My cats are notorious for messing around. My youngest male cat is obsessed with water, and I'm not. When I say that, I'm talking like a dog on a bone. Yeah. Well, you're further north than I am, I do believe, by a lot. So you're near Oslo? No, that's Norway. What the hell am I saying? But yeah, it would be nice to see spring break a little early versus the later times it usually does. Something up with your salt or just need salt? I have been so off and on busy. I have totally zoned on emptying my salt into the bucket from the box. It's been, oh, it's crazy what things will affect you, and you just sort of tune out on it, eh? Yeah, I hear ya. Well, I'm going to mix up, I don't know. I want to mix up 10 just in case because I'd like to do a really vicious cleaning on that 20. Get all that schmutz out of the bottom, and I might even videotape that just to show people like you don't have to use a big tube and everything. I just use airline hose to clean out the sand bed on that one, just to get the stuff off the top, the excess food. And yeah, exactly. Nanos don't take a lot. I'm thinking 5 would be enough. I mean, I pretty much cleaned for I think almost 30 minutes, and I still only filled the bucket like halfway. You watch the clowns attack me. Yeah, steel brush and go to town on the rocks. I was thinking about it. I'm wondering if I can get away with um, doing that without the sump being in line. I'm a little worried about that. Because I mean, the last thing I'd want to do is clean with the steel brush, get all most of that off, rinsed, yeah, and then spray it with a quick dose of peroxide just to kill it off. Which is probably I'm gonna leave the back glass just so that fat blenny of mine has something to do, but we'll see. But for now, I'm just going to show the 120 because it's starting to look really good in there. Another month or so, I'll be able to start restocking some corals, and I think I'm going to do a cleaning of the water with that method I've talked about before. I'll put a little pump in there and throw some DI resin in a sock in the filter section of it, and see if I can clean some unwanted crap out of my water. Works really well. You don't do it for long. I've personally never heard of anybody messing it up, but you can see that if you overclean. Well, look at that Hans attacking that poor scooter, Blenny. Defending that turf he is at the far end of the tank. Nope. So welcome to anybody who's popped in. Thumbs up if you like what you see, and if you want to talk. If you want to chat. Bubba, what's going on, Shinobi? And Jeff's in. How you feeling today, Jeff? Hope you're feeling better. Hope every day is a little better for you, my friend. Indeed. Look at the size of that Royal Grandma, guys. I hope I get a few more years out of her. I've had her for 2, and she was pretty big then. So she's definitely a mature fish. Oh, that's okay, Bubba. That's, I chatted with, who was I chatting with? Tom, I think were you there? I think you were. Wow. That's how zoned out I got. It was just late. One of those couldn't sleep, clowns will eat me kind of moments. Right. And you're too far away for me to get one. I'm seriously debating trying a bubble tip in the nano tank for those 2 clowns, but they're kind of aggressive as it is, so there's a bit of concern there. Yeah, you're okay, bored and in bed, huh? I imagine so. And I don't blame you. When I had my surgery on my stomach there back in 2015, I was off for 30 days, and that wasn't enough. I'll tell you. I went back to work. My staples, when they were removed, I split the fascia skin again, so it didn't take. So the inside was okay, but I had to go through what they call granulated healing for another 30 days. So every day I had to go and have my wound, for lack of a better word, repacked and cleaned, repacked, and then rebandaged. And I went to work like that. And boy, you wonder why I left Xerox. Well, I can tell you why I left Xerox. There was absolutely no credit for that whatsoever. Wish I'd have kept the pictures. They were gross, though. I mean, who wants to see that? Some people do, but who wants to really see that? But I stuck that in my manager's face. She didn't like that. I'm like, yeah, well, that's what I'm here doing. But, you'd rather bug me about 1 minute I wasn't here. Or going to the bathroom because I'm diabetic. No, as I started off my stream, I'll say it again. Welcome to Lazy Sunday Chat. Let's get to quibbling. Yeah, well, you know what, Bubba? I lived through it. It's whatever it was. It was It was more a pain in the ass to get to the hospital every day and have that done. Nothing really. Let's see. Miss Simpson there, Melanie. She she missed us by a little bit. She's an early bird. I would imagine they do. Yeah, if the wound's not in an area of extreme use, and they think you're going to take it easy, they will actually super glue bond it together. Unfortunately, my stomach, being that I'm a bigger fella and stuff, that wasn't really an option. And I'm diabetic, so I don't heal all that great. I heal well, but like my hands don't heal well. My feet don't. I'm always careful of my feet. You know, it was just some guy that realized when he glued his fingers together with super glue. I wonder if, you know, it was right. Maybe it was a saltwater guy when he realized you can glue animals to rocks. It's very possible. Yeah, bubble tip anemones and anemones in general, when they get stressed, tend to split. Oh, you're talking about my fox face, Tom? Even that hippo tang has gone from that razor thin look you get to, if you look at him, he's starting to fatten up nice. And I don't overfeed, so I feed enough, and that's all there is to it. But there's just, I guess, enough there for him to sustain that. Today's a big special day for the fishies. They're going to get meat at some point today. I usually use brine and spirulina, but we'll see. It looks like a C-section on your back. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah. My stomach just looks like a shark attack. I'm not kidding. Yeah. Big messy scars, right? Yeah, we all love to feed our fish. Anybody up to getting in the hangout, or you just going to hang out in the chat? I'm okay either way. He is looking good. You probably do. You got a lot of fish, man. That nasotang of yours is a monster, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be one of those days here in New Brunswick. It's sunny. It's not. It's sunny. It's not. So it's going to be an overcast day, I guess. I would think so. Certain pills make everybody forget. I am so missing a fish. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go inspect the tank for a sec. I just noticed I haven't seen a certain fish in a few days, and I'm a little worried. Be right back. Oh, is Bubba getting in? Sorry about that, Bubba. I was she jumped when I was feeding the corals Friday. Is the only time she could have jumped. To anyone who wants to pop in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my fox does, but he's not very aggressive with it, so. Yeah. So my red filamentous wrasse, I think what happened is I went to feed at some point and she leapt out of the tank. And unfortunately, where she jumped out, I would have had a really hard time. She was right down the back. So it's literally sticks and grabbers just to get her body out of there. So, a little bummed out. Welcome to reef keeping, you know, especially fish keeping side of it. I may try that shortly just to help get the detritus out. I was watching reef keeping reefing worldwide community there, RWC, and I like his technique, and I may give it a shot. Yeah. If you want, I can show you a video. Not of the fish, right? Nobody wants to see a dead fish. We all know what they look like. But of the actual area that she jumped into and how she did it. Link didn't work. I'm going to try the basic link. Try this for me. See if that one works for you, Bubba.
Yes, it works. It worked for me.
It worked for you? Okay.
Yeah. What fish did you lose?
The red filamentous wrasse.
That's not fun.
No, and it's really weird because the only way she would have gotten out was I must have, when I was feeding, I thought I felt something hit when I was taking the lid. You know, I moved my screen, and I'm guessing that was her hitting it and hitting it at the right angle that she went down the back. So she went right down to the floor in the back, and yeah, I lost her. Oh well. Time for a mystery wrasse.
Yeah. That's the downside of an open tank.
Yep. Well, there's no open tank. It's lidded.
Oh,
Has
really?
screens on the top. Yeah, I'll show you. She jumped out when I was feeding.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just didn't see her jump. I thought I heard something when I moved the net. You know, it's a screened-in net. I'll go show you guys here in a sec.
I thought you had open tanks.
No, I do not.
I have all my tanks are open.
Yeah, I unfortunately have lost one too many fish to that. I'm going to try redoing the link here, Bubba. Give me a sec. Bit.
I don't like lids on it because less oxygen.
Yeah. Nope,
Well,
no
screen
lids.
lids are
Mine's
good.
are screens. Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you in a sec. I'll go video it when I get Bubba in here. So, Bubba, I'm just redoing the link. Give me a sec here. Copy link address. Remove. Paste. See if that one works for you. We'll get you in here. It's probably your phone. Not a problem, Jeff. Anytime.
Is it the iPhone or?
I find the Hangouts, even when we redirect and we do the links, every once in a while they don't work right for some people. So. Yeah.
My kids is screaming madly here.
Oh, that's kids.
Yeah. He
They're
can't
never
lose in the
quiet.
game. He gets furious.
Yeah, and then when they get quiet, it's time to panic. Yeah.
Yeah. He can't handle his anger, this kid, because he gets autism.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll try the short link with you again. Let's go to copy. There it goes. Give that one a try again. Yeah, my wife's really bummed out. That was one of her favorite fish. We saved her once. She's the one I got on video. I'm reviving in the tank after she jumped out the last time, but she's been there 2 days. Her eyes are sunk in. She was decaying when I got her, so she's been there since Friday.
I must have missed that video. Can't recall I've seen that.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've recorded it.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim, that's what we were just saying. I'm going to show how she got out. I know exactly when it happened, and I'm a little bummed. Because I put the lid on the tank because she jumped. I'm not kidding. That's the whole reason I put the screen tops on. I wonder... Bubba, what's your email address? I'll just invite you the old-fashioned way. I'll send it to your email. That's how I had to do it with my phone today. My phone didn't work today either for the tank. I would. Yeah, I'll show you my screen in a second here. We'll get Bubba in here, and then that way it's there's a conversation going while I'm doing it.
There's that scream you get when you have to assemble it yourself, build according to your tank.
Yeah, I build it according to the size of my tank.
Yeah, we got those here too. But my corner tank, I can't build anything to it because it's wrong dimensions.
It's all right. Put it in. I'll copy it, and we'll take it out. Won't stay in the room. Yay! Actually, you should be able to retract it yourself, too, after I get a copy. Yeah, Tim, that's exactly what happened. Is I went to feed on Friday the corals, and she leapt, and I thought I heard something, like what happened with the lid there, and it was just as I moved it. So I got a funny feeling that's when she jumped, and I just didn't hear anything.
It's an Al-Qaeda fish.
Yeah, she just wanted out, right?
Yeah. Freedom.
Hey, I sent that to your email, Bubba. Go try to get in. I'll show you guys my my setup there. All right? I'll show you. Why not?
Have we got a refund on the tank yet, Tim? That one that busted the seams?
That worked. Check that out.
Here we go. Give it a sec, guys. I'll show you how that fish got out on me.
What's going on, guys?
It's doing okay.
Yeah, good, man.
You just woke up?
Yeah, I was up really late until like 3:30 in the morning. Then had to run off, and my wife wanted me to drop her off at work like 2 hours later. I was just like, okay, sure.
I would have given her the finger. You go take the car yourself.
Really weird weather, and then we had like a gun shooting near the house. So she was kind of worried, and I'm like, well, I don't know if there's still cops at there was a helicopter like going around the neighborhood for a while. So I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll take you. But you know how that goes, man.
Nah, nothing here in Sweden. It's calm and quiet.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If we see a police helicopter here, we're really worried. We never see any police helicopters.
Oh, lucky you. That's
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's a blessing.
it's only the big cities like Stockholm or Gothenburg. There's police
Yeah,
helicopters.
it's cool, man. I'm freaking glad I get to talk to you guys. I mean, I know I'd get to message you guys and see the progress of your own tanks.
Yeah, I
Kind
gotta
of
do a
nice.
video tomorrow on mine on the new stuff I got.
Oh, good, man. What'd you pick up? Or are you just making that into a video?
No, I picked up a new UVC and ozone generator and reactor for my carbon.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
My
that's
tank
good.
was so cloudy, I couldn't get it unclouded. Then I put this stuff in, and today my tank is crystal clear.
There you go. So it was just some kind of
Yeah, it's
participant.
floating bacteria.
Yep. You
Oh,
put a
nice.
UV in?
Yeah, I got a UVC light, a 36 watts.
Yep, that'll work. That works for me.
Yeah, took 12 hours and everything got cleared out. Now the tank looks great.
Yeah, so you guys saw there's screen tops, custom built, and all it was, I moved it. She jumped out. I didn't see her jump out. I thought I heard something hit the lid. Bummer. Have to get another.
That's when she jumped, huh?
Yeah, she jumped out, and I found her. And if you look, when I scanned over there, that spot in the back, I wouldn't have been able to get her either. You know, she was a good 4 feet in. Like she was 2.5 feet into a space that's only 2 inches wide, right?
I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks.
That sucks. I had her. I revived her once. I got a video on my channel there that you can actually see me reviving her from the last time she jumped out. So,
Oh, no.
and that's why the lids went on. So, you know,
They're just so stupid.
yeah, suicide fish.
Yeah.
Yep.
They cost a fortune and a jump.
I warned my wife because my wife has on her tank Yasha Gobi, and at least she has a pistol, so she hasn't jumped.
Nope. But that possibility is there. Yeah.
But it's there, and I told her that. I warned her. I'm like, by the way, this fish is known to jump. So
Yep.
They
she's
all
like,
jump.
really? And I'm like, all right, well.
Yep. We call them carpet divers. I mean,
Yeah.
I lost a fish
yeah.
to a jump that I shouldn't have, which was the original hippo tang in my tank. And it was the same situation. He just happened to be at the top of the tank. I wasn't in the room. My cat leapt at the tank, scared the big yellow fox face, scared that fish, and he jumped out. But because my tank's 6 feet tall at the top and plus the jump, I'm going to guess the fall's what killed him because I found him. He was still wet and not breathing. So.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it was probably the impact.
You're right. The impact killed him, right?
Brain
I put him in the net. I tried. And I just, you know, I haven't lost a lot of fish to jumping. Firefish, notorious jumpers.
Oh, yeah. They're horrible.
Gobies.
Yeah. And gobies in general, right?
I lost 3 gobies. Diamond sense
nothing.
gobies.
They get scared and boom, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly, Tom, you're right. Gobies are notorious for it. Firefish, dartfish are. I know people who've lost clowns to jumps.
That too.
You know, it's you know, we all talk about it. And it's like, you know, well, you should put a lid on, but it looks horrible. Well, then you're going to have a lot of dead fish. You know, you're going to have to take that with it, right?
Yeah, but what I noticed is if you only have something that protects about 4 inches in from the tank, they only jump at the edges. They would jump in the middle.
Yeah. I'm guessing mine went out the back when I moved the net. So she hit it, made me think something happened, but it happened so fast I just didn't see it, right? I mean, I would have attempted to save her. Of course I would have. I probably would have grabbed a net and just dragged her and said, the hell with it. You know, I'd rather be dirty and rinse her off than, you know, lose her. But, you know, unfortunately she, or he, you know, well, that's it. That's going to be the topic of my day. All pissed off, right?
Yeah,
Another dead fish.
You can't say them all.
No, it happens.
No, last night, I don't even know what the hell we were talking about. I'd have to go back and watch it myself. Melanie said, oh, I missed it. I would have liked to have gotten in on that. I think we were just shooting the breeze about streams. Yeah, it was random, and we got on about streams there at some point. You know, I was trying to be pragmatic about it. I'm like, you know, it's the way I look at it. This is my sandbox. I'm going to talk about what I want. And if somebody doesn't like that kind of thing, then start your own. Right, which is what I did.
Oh, yeah,
right, versus getting into it with somebody, I'll just talk about my own. Right.
Well, there's how many billions of people on YouTube. I don't think someone should get kind of offended if someone else starts a live stream, but that's my own opinion on that. I mean, other people might take it the wrong way, but
There's no reason to.
yeah,
No,
well,
exactly.
I mean, especially in the fish community, I think we all know each other. We're all, I would say friends because we all talk to each other and comment on people's videos and even talk outside the box of like family stuff and other things when it's really late or we've been on the stream for a lot of hours.
Yep.
You can't talk about the same thing, on fishing and reefing for long periods of time. But
and the other big one was me and Jeff, American Reefing, helped the guy. Yeah, a guy popped in, and I hope he pops back in again because I'm really interested to see. He had high nitrates. He had cleaned his sand bed and wiped his fish out.
Oh wow!
He
How
like
deep of a sand bed
he
did
lost
he
a
have?
couple. And I asked him that, and he never really answered me on that. And I said, okay, so right now you've done what? He goes, well, I took all the fish out that were left after the death or two. He lost all his. That's what it was. He lost all his inverts, all of them, and he lost a wrasse.
How old
to
is the
this
tank?
cleaning? 2 years old.
Yeah.
So
and he lost all his inverts though.
All his inverts at once.
If you have never stirred your sand bed, you will never touch it because it's so toxin.
Yeah, I told him. I said, chances are what you did was release hydrogen sulfide.
Yeah.
I said, or you had a biblical nitrate spike.
Yeah.
Right. And I say, when I say that, we're talking plus 200 parts per million. I said, you say it's off the charts on your API kit. So what we did is I said, can you test, do you have your fresh saltwater mix now? And he said, yes. I said, can you test that right now with that kit? It's not been in the tank. Let's find out what it says that has. It should be nothing. Right.
What did it come out to?
Over 100. So his kit was
test
FUBAR'd.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, you need to go get a good kit. So he said he was going to go get it. I said, test again. Make sure you're getting nothing out of your fresh salt mix. Then test your tank. And then take it from there. I said, and if you want to clean out your tank of anything, you're going to have to do like 30% water changes every 2 days. And you're going to have to roll that tank over, fairly quickly. And his big thing was, is it going to hurt my fish? And I went, no, not at all. You're removing bad stuff out of the tank. That's like saying, I took carbon monoxide out of the room for you. It's going to hurt you now. No, it won't.
Just, man, that sand bed, though, just moving it for some tanks is not the best thing. If the system's not used to it, like I have Nassari snails and conchs, so they're always constantly moving stuff, and the pistol shrimp. So they're moving the sand all the time. I'm not worried about having to stir it because they're stirring it for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, because otherwise, and we can all agree, if you don't have that stuff, you have to do sections at a time, and even then be careful.
Yep.
Right? There's a method to the madness, so to speak, right?
In the big system, I mean, it's food for the coral, so it's not that bad to just do a small part of it. But in a small system, oh my gosh, you can bomb it.
Oh yeah,
he's
lucky he didn't wipe out his whole tank. At that point.
I don't know who this guy is, or Reefer, but hopefully he jumps back in and kind of lets you know what
I so want to know. Yeah, because I've got Melanie Simpson. She's getting her water from her LFS up there in San Francisco, and it's ocean water. Okay. I said, so have you ever tested that water? And she's like, no. And I said, you should be testing that water, right? Like,
well, you don't know how far out they actually get that water from.
No, exactly, right? They don't all tell you, like, if they're going to the beach, you're basically getting water from the ocean's protein skimmer.
That's good, mate. That's what that is.
But at the same token, I told her, I said, chances are it's fine. I said, but, I would test it just for peace of mind, right?
Yeah, there was I don't know if you know him. I think he only jumps in every once in a while on Rico's. I don't see him in too many of the others, but his name is Saint Panoy.
I think I've seen him once.
So Saint Panoy is from San Diego, and he actually gets his water out of that water treatment for salt water, but it does come from like a mile out.
Yeah.
In, I should say, or out if you want to call it. But he's been using that, and his tank's looking good. But he's tested it already, and they run it through filtration and other things, but you never know how one place is going to take care of water versus the other. So
No, exactly right. You know, you gotta take a little bit of caution with anything you're doing. Even my own salt water, I'll test it occasionally just to make sure nothing's seeping through. Right.
I have too. I've caught actually a nitrite in my reef crystals.
Yep.
No phosphates or nitrates, which was weird. And I called them and told them, and they sent me a brand new bucket of it. They're like, well, we'll just send you a new bucket. But I was so worried to use the next bucket because my alk was already too high. And I didn't want my alk to be so high. The coral didn't like it too high.
Nope, they don't.
Switched to Fritz. And Fritz has been treating me good. It has a really high amount of calcium and magnesium, so I don't have to dose as much of the other the other two part. I just dose the alkalinity the first couple days.
Yeah.
No. I can't get Fritz here.
No,
it's a balancing game. That's the big thing.
Fritz here is expensive. I love Fritz Pro RPM. I love that stuff, right? Or RPM Pro, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's great salt.
20 minutes in your mix, right? And actually, it was funny. Somebody asked me why there's a difference, and I'm like, it's called the thermolytic reaction. I said, when you mix salt, depending on their additives, there's going to come a point where it heats itself up. And I actually watched my salt heat up 5 degrees on its own.
Yeah,
right?
I don't put my heater in until I've already finished the last cup of salt.
Yep.
And I wait at least 10 to 15 minutes before I even put in a heater, because it is naturally gonna heat up with that whatever it is the
thermolytic reaction. Yeah, I know.
Reaction. Yeah, that's it.
I forget who it was. I was talking about it yesterday. They're making a salt called hot salt.
Hot salt. Yeah, it's
Is it cobalt?
No, it was ATM.
ATM. There you go. So
it's a hydrogenous salt.
Yeah,
I remember. I believe Nick Chan and a few of the other guys talking about it, and they said it's amazing salt because it doesn't have contaminants.
Yeah, but it's expensive.
I've never tried it, so
it's got to be expensive.
I've never tried it, and for a nano tank, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people, and this goes around. I mean, even whoever listens to this later on, if you leave it up, the Red Sea Pro salt is just too hot for most smaller tanks.
Yeah.
If you do a water change, that alk kicks in, everything it's really high, and you can kill your coral. Or they're going to be really pissed off for the next couple of days. But
yeah, exactly. You try to explain about Red Sea Pro to people. It's like it works in nano. You can do it. You just have to be very vigilant about what's going on in the tank and know not to panic. Right? You got to just let it do its thing. Right?
Well, that's why I'm looking for new salt.
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tom.
No problem.
I just wish the LFS, because I mean I've worked for an LFS now for a little bit, and I wish other LFSs would just tell, especially someone that's new, just buy the blue bucket. Then don't go with the Pro. It's too hot. Use the normal stuff or use Instant Ocean. You don't need the reef crystals yet. They don't need all this stuff yet. It's too new. You don't need a dose. You don't need to have hot salt. You don't have, a new reefer doesn't understand that, and I wish somebody would educate them when they go in asking, hey, so what kind of salt should I use if I mix my own? But they don't.
I hate to be the bearer of being a bitch, but I'll tell you, when it comes to a lot of LFS, in my opinion, I bump into a lot of they're too busy telling you what you can't do versus what you should do.
What you should do. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
It's and like I that guy Derek, if I could take him out of business, if I had a way to legally do it and just show people the crap that this guy perpetuates, I would. He's just a horrible human being, right? It's an absolute sin because he's in such a great location. He's right in the middle of what I would call New Brunswick, right? He's not. He's right up to the upper right of the bottom right of the province, I guess, so the southeast. But he's kind of right at the main highway junction. It's called the hub city for a reason, right? And it's like, I have heard him on the phone telling somebody who's not even in the hobby, don't deal with such and such a fish store because they don't know what they're doing.
Oh,
and I'm like, who are you to do that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Saying that.
No. This is the same guy I told the story about that we put a picture of his tank up on Reddit. And the first comment was, so how much is a frag of Aptasia from him?
Oh, God. That's horrible.
that should not be the first comment about someone's tank.
No, it shouldn't, and that's the sad part. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think that it's good to have like not necessarily proof, but if you know someone's doing the right thing, they've been doing it for a long time, and can show it to you. It kind of advocates that they know what they're doing. They've been in the hobby long enough. I haven't been in it too long. That's why in the beginning, I mean, I swear I might make a video of how bad my system was the first like 6 to 8 months, because it had different scape, different everything. I mean, it looked really bad, but I turned it around, and just, it's really just about the patience. You just have to have that patience to just kind of endure what your tank's going to go through those little bumps and whatever it is that you run into. But and then just pick the coral that you think work best for your system, because I'm more of an LPS dominated. I do have a couple SPF encrusting and also a bird's nest. Right. I do want to try acros, because now it's the tank's been seasoned for a while, but I just haven't gotten to it. Just been kind of busy.
You're like me. Softies and LPS is the best one. Yeah. I like the movement.
Yeah, I love torches and Euphilia and things that move around.
SPS is just like a twig with color on it.
Yeah, those who like it really like it. Those who don't. I'm in between. I mean, I love the colors, but it's when you're looking at it, it's just, to me, it's a colored rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a colored twig.
But that being said, there's some like the tricolor Bali and Rainbow Montu. I agree with the conversation that was going on the other day that a lot of stuff's going rainbow. Everybody wants a rainbow Acan, a rainbow Montipora, a rainbow Acro, and well, that's not really coloring. That's your, that's like my fish in my 20 there, the Lubbock's wrasse. It's a multicolored fish, so
right.
That's why my wife loves it. But at the same token, I like a green wrasse too, and I like it, But
the conversation can also swing that those rainbow colors, when you put them under your lights, is going to change completely, because it's not in the same spectrum that it was at. So
yeah.
That's what
fives, a 10X, they were under, totally different lighting system, and then you put them under your LEDs, and they start to turn green or start to change
brown.
Color. Right. So it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to other reefers also.
Yeah, it's just like my wife bought an LPS from my local fish store, and I told her that it's not going to look like this when you get home. It was bright red in his tank. We got home, now it's just like a pink.
Oh yeah, and that it's not necessarily a pro tip or nothing, but it's actually good to ask the LFS to show the coral in a lighter color, in a whiter color.
Yeah,
I normally ask them, can you put on the whites a little bit brighter? And they're like, yeah. And they'll just, either
throw you only have the blues on.
That way what you're really going to have when you get home. Because under the blues, everything damn near looks stunning, like, wow, it's so amazing. But then the rest of the time that you have your photo period up, you're like, that coral doesn't look right. It looks kind of pale.
I don't use that much white in my tank.
Yeah. I don't use too much either.
About 15 or 20% white.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do a ramp up, ramp down, but maybe
me
5
too.
hours of photo.
24-hour cycle on it.
Yeah.
I got a question. Sounds like a dumb one with the Hangouts here. How do I get it to stop hanging on one person and go back to showing who's talking? That's ticking me off.
You can click on it. Just click on the person you want to present.
Yeah, no, I was doing that, but I want to get it off of that so it just goes back to whoever's talking.
Click it one more time and see if it does it.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. In all honesty, that's what I want people to see is who's talking or whatever the case may be, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, and on that pro salt, before I forget, because I know it's already been a couple minutes since we talked about it. If anyone's listening to this, it's not that you can't use Coral Pro salt. So don't get that twisted, because some people are like, he doesn't like Coral Pro salt. I used to use it before.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's definitely a replenisher kind of salt that works better in larger tanks for a small water change to replenish. But you can still use it in a nano. It's just you have to be careful with the coral. The coral will die.
Yeah, I use Color Plus now, and I'm looking for a new kind of salt.
What kind of salts are out there, by the way? If you don't mind me asking, Tom.
We got the new ATIs, Absolute Ocean. It mixes within 10 seconds. It's done.
You can't go wrong with normal instant ocean.
No.
And you have Tritons,
No.
Reef Crystals, and Bright Wells, Neo Marine.
You have
used
listed
Brightwells.
every
okay.
expensive salt too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Treasure, Aqua Forest.
Can you get the regular instant ocean, the purple stuff?
No, not the cheap one.
Of course not, right?
They only
where
get
do you like
expensive
to
stuff
leave
here.
your alk, if you don't mind me asking on that one? Is your alk, you normally like it in the 8 to 9, or you like it higher, lower?
My elk is about 8, 9 in between there.
8 and 9?
8 and
Yeah.
9. Okay.
Well, Craig, what do you think he should? Because I already.
Yeah, the thing with higher alks, okay, so and man, my experience with this is a little on the I know what works for me, and I keep mine in the 7 to 7.5.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Right, but that's not necessarily the case. I've had mine as high in a nano because of Reef Pro 14.
Oh God!
Right,
Yeah.
so it was really high, so it was causing my pH to drop. I don't know what the correlation was there. So what I ended up doing was I started running oxygen from outside, right, the air from outside through my skimmer, and that started to bring it down. So what I had was a large CO2 bloom, steady kind of thing going on, and I lowered it that way, and I just let it do it itself, and I changed salt over to just the regular IO, because when you read what's in the Red Sea Coral Pro, there's a butt ton of alk in it.
Yeah, that's why I'm going away from the Pro.
Check what's in the ATI. I bet you it's lower. A lot of them are lower. I know Fritz Pro can be a little high.
The Fritz, the batches are between 8 and 9.
Yeah, so they're always high, right?
So they're not super, super high. I know Aqua Forest is a little lower than that. 7.
The Red Sea Blue is lower as well.
And the Red Sea Blue would be lower. Yeah.
And it's lower. Yeah. Red Sea Blue is a lot lower. If you can find that, I would try blue.
Yeah, we got all the red seeds, so Red Sea Blue is no problem.
Yeah, and I would probably do yourself a solid, and almost like I was suggesting to the other guy, do 3 consecutive larger water changes, and that should lower it, not too quickly, but bring it down in a fairly steady fashion for you. That'll help you out. So.
Yeah.
The good part, it's the same. If you end up going with the Coral Pro, but just the blue bucket, I should say, Coral Blue, they're using the same formulation, so your tank's not going to really feel the difference. It's
no real shock. Yeah.
Right. If you change it from one salt to another and it's completely different, then I would say
the
same that others have told me is do really small water changes every other day till it slowly starts to mix and adapt to the new salt.
Mm.
I only do a water change, a small one, every month when I clean up the sump.
Yep. Well, don't clean up your sump too much either. That was another thing we were talking about the other night, was this. I want my sump to be as clean as my display, so to speak, right? And it's like, well, you don't have to quite go that far. I clean up the detritus.
Yeah, exactly. Just vacuum it.
That's all you're doing. Okay. So, all I ever did was clean
all the
the
water
glass.
and vacuum up the crap.
Yeah, I clean my glass. I let everything settle. Then I vacuum up what I can. I'm going to actually get one of those Cobalt EXT external pumps, the inline pump there that they put on that canister filter. You can buy the pump. And so what you can actually do is pump out that crap instead of having to try and do it by gravity or netting. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. But now I also know the little trick of using the airline hose.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be there forever trying to clean out a 40-gallon sump that way, but it'll work. Yeah.
I'm using a big bucket right now as a sump because my sump cracked as well. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. And I don't want to fix it. I'm tired of this tank. I'm going to get a new one.
Hey, can I ask, have any of you guys used the Triton ICP test?
Nope, not yet.
I'm going to send in one in 2 months.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm gonna probably send mine also pretty soon. It's just I'm gonna be switching to a new bag of a Fritz Pro, and I just want to see if
The difference.
if there's any difference. So I'm kind of gonna wait till I have that going. I just
Yeah.
wanted to
See
ask
what
if you guys
tank
have done
does.
it yet
Yeah, that's
because
a
I
good
haven't
idea.
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing different people with different results, and I like that they go over a lot of the major elements that or something that might end up affecting your tank. So
And the biggest thing I like about it is they give you a solution.
yeah, they do, and that's really nice of them. I mean, I know it kind of pushes towards some of their product line, but it's okay. I mean, I rather know if I'm low on iodine or
Something,
iron
something
or
out of
something,
the
right?
norm.
That you can just
Yeah.
kind of throw in just a little bit of to keep your tank happy because every coral is using a different kind of element. I'm sure I'm going through tons of iodine and calcium because of the clam and the scullies and other stuff. So,
Yeah.
so I want to see where I'm at. At
Yeah.
the point of where I'm going to do my water change, how depleted I am at that point. So
I
don't know if
dose
it's better.
Triton, so
I don't know. I guess I
don't.
should ask probably what you guys recommend. If it's better for me to sample the water after the water change, like the next day, or wait the day before my water change and pull that sample.
A better day before, otherwise you have a new
Yeah,
batch of
and then
water
probably
that you
give it a
have
good.
different settings.
Yeah, no, Tom's right. Give it a month after. So do one prior, and be ready
Okay.
to do one after, right? So you can see if there's a difference before you start doing anything.
Right.
It's better to
right.
have the old water.
Yeah.
Who's depleted.
Yeah. Okay. No, well, I've never done it before, so I was just like trying to see what to do. I didn't know if it's better to do the water change and then do the testing the next day.
Yeah.
Just to see where you're at from there, because it's supposed to replenish. You know what you've already depleted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now you know how much you've actually depleted, or what the system is still lacking after your water change. That's the way I was thinking.
But
and there's nothing
do a
wrong with
water
that.
change, then 2 weeks after the water change, send it in.
Yeah. Well, I've never done it before. That's why I was like, let me ask.
But
I
don't do it at the same time, because you got new water and new batches, different
Right.
results.
And Cellifert sells enough of the complicated kits. So if you want to test your strontium, your iron, and your iodine, they sell the kits that you can do it at $25 a crack.
That's the reason why I didn't buy them, because I'm not going to go through the 5 vials or 4 vials to do strontium, and no, it's too crazy.
I don't test for anything like that. I just send in the ICP.
Yeah, I'll do a baseline, and 6 months from now, I'll do another one. Don't get me wrong; these tests aren't cheap, so
they're expensive.
So
how much is an ICP test? I've never asked actually.
Normally
here is about $45.
Yeah, they're $50 here in the States.
$50.
I got mine for Black Friday. I think it was BRS was selling them for $39.
Well, that's not too bad.
So that's when I bought mine. I just haven't used it yet because I wanted to wait for the full year of me running the tank. But now I'm realizing I'm getting low on salt, and I have to reopen a new bag. So I got to test that salt for the basic stuff, and then see how the tank responds to it.
Yeah.
But
my tank is just 7 weeks old. It's going to be fun to see how it looks like in 3 months.
Right.
When I send an ICP.
Is Tim still with us? Is anyone else still in there? I know Saltwater Jeff's got his pain in his bag. I'm just checking the chat here, guys. Keep an eye on those folks too, right?
Yeah, I try to check the chat. What happens? I get kicked out. It's happened before. Every stream that I jump onto, I don't know if it's an iPhone thing, but if I back out on the home button, I get booted, so I can't even see the chat. I mean, honestly.
Tim just wrote it's going to take a second. Then he didn't write anymore. I don't know what he's doing. But I'm going to be curious to see what, because I dose Triton every day, so I should not be low on any elements.
You shouldn't be. I mean, depending how much coral you have, but you shouldn't be.
No, I don't have much coral right now. I can't afford to buy any right now because they're really expensive over here.
How much is your average?
The cheapest coral I can get is $60.
$60. What is it for 60? Like Paulson Zania or something? What is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I got orders from the wife. I got to make more coffee. You guys keep chatting. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Wow, it's $60, really?
I got a piece of hammerhead for $65. A nice piece of hammerhead.
Oh, wow.
But that is retail price. He's a retailer, so his price before he sells to the store.
Is it just like a 1 head or 2 head, 3 head?
This hammerhead was actually about, just do the calculation ahead here. Should be 1, 2, 4 inches.
Oh, okay.
It's
But
quite
it's just
big
the
one.
one giant head, it's like one
Yeah.
big head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad. But that is high. I mean, it's still pretty high compared to the prices I find, but it's not. You know what? The area that I'm in, the reef stores are very spread out, so I have to drive really far.
You have to drive 40 minutes to get to
Yeah,
mine.
same here. I'm about 45 minutes to get to the
Yeah.
LFS that I was
But
looking
I'd
for.
rather go to him because he's a great guy and he is a retailer, so he gets the retail price before he sells to the store.
Oh, really?
So he
Nice.
gets better prices.
So it actually costs more if you go to another
In the
place.
store, yes, you double the price.
Oh my gosh.
So if you go to store in Gothenburg and buy a car of that size, it's about $200.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Sick price over here.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
crazy.
taxes and taxes and taxes. Oh my god. They love taxes here.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. I didn't realize it was that expensive out there.
Yeah, it's really expensive. And we are pretty close to the Red Sea as well, so it should not be that expensive.
You would think so, right? I mean, geez.
It's only a 5-hour flight from here to the Red Sea.
Oh yeah, it's not that far at all.
No. That's why I started up my salt tank again. Was in the Red Sea this winter. I got the bloody tooth again. I saw all my beautiful fish in the sea. So, man, I got to start up my tank again. That's why I started up my.
Yeah, that's really nuts. I'm trying to see who's in the chat. Is anyone chatting? I just
No, nobody. There's nobody at all.
Yeah, I was just double checking. I'm like, I don't want to have somebody feel left out, you know. It's like, well, turned on my computer just to double check, but
it's a slow day.
Dad, how long have you been, Tom? How long have you been reefing? If you don't mind me asking.
Totally about 4 years, but I have a 1 year of I just turned off all my tanks and sold everything. I had a big water leak, and I got so fed up with everything.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my 300-gallon burst the seam.
I think all of us have that moment, though, where you're thinking, should I keep doing this? Because it's so expensive, the hobby. And I've heard it in other streams, and it is a luxury hobby. You know,
it is.
It costs a lot. It does take time because it's all living animals and living plants.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I really do love it, but it is costly.
It really is costly. My wife asked me later as today if I couldn't get a cheaper hobby.
Yeah, well, you know, I used the game before a lot. And that's a fraction of the price. I even told my wife, I'm like, you kidding me? I could buy a brand new console, games, controllers, and everything, and still be ahead of the game versus buying coral in a tank.
So, yeah, you can buy a brand new computer for the price of a skimmer.
I mean, and what kind of maintenance do I have to do on a console? Just download the updates.
Yeah,
you know,
and dust it.
That's why I was like, wow, that's just crazy.
Yeah, really is.
When I added it up, I was like, wait a minute. Yep, the tank still costs more than the console with all these games.
Oh, hell yes.
But no, my wife enjoys it. She likes it. She came from the Philippines, and we've been married for a while. And she just wanted kind of like a piece of the ocean in our place. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, that's not a problem, babe. Let's try it out. Yeah. But I warned her because I knew someone else that had a reef, and they said, look, it's expensive. Take your time. Learn the ins and outs before you buy a tank. And I did about a month of research. I wish I should have done a little bit more because I was still I felt a little blind. But I think you just kind of have to go ahead first in this hobby. I mean, I already had years of doing freshwater.
Yeah.
But freshwater to salt, I mean, if you've done planted, then you're going to understand the reefing side better. If you
freshwater is too easy. I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't use dechlorinator. I didn't use nothing. I swear, I got water straight out of
Water
the
and
tap.
and go.
That's all, dude. That's all I did.
Yeah,
Remove all the
canister filter and
gravel,
water.
washed
Nothing
it
else.
out. I had them in a little in a little like bucket, or just water.
Yeah, and
And
the
then
fish
just
don't cost anything. The fish,
no, they're
so
really
what? Get a
cheap,
new one.
super cheap. Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah,
Couple bucks, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are exotic, like, you know, cichlids
yeah,
and
yeah.
other stuff that are very
Always.
expensive. But the most common fish, goldfish and other stuff, tetras and betas and all that, they're super cheap. So I lost a few here and there, but surprisingly, I actually had a few of them that lived for over a year. And
Yeah,
that's me
a lot
not
then.
using dechlorinator, not using, I mean, just feeding them. And I clean the water every week. I did it really easy, but, you know, I was younger then. Just grab the water, mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's much more fun with the salt water. It's a personality in itself. Everything is
There
alive.
is. Yep. The salt water really, I mean, if you don't have patience, it's going to make you get patience.
Oh, hell yes. I have absolutely no patience at all.
No,
But now I look at my tank. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Yeah, that's the kind of one of the keys, man. I've
hard.
noticed too. The less you put your hands inside that water,
yeah,
the better your tank's gonna do. So
exactly.
And especially in a small water, you know, volume of water, we have contaminants in our hands and stuff we use, lotions, whatever it is, and we put our hands in there.
That's what Aaron learned today about this. He got his ICP back here this week.
You got what back?
Aaron, Michael.
Oh yeah, Michael Aarons. Yeah, he actually. I remember watching his video earlier when he put it up.
Yeah, and he used a lot of hand lotion, and he put his hand in the tank and got the elevated result from that.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, it's not good. It's not good for the system.
No.
And you know, he has a large volume of water, so it's good because it dilutes itself. But for someone that has a nano tank or smaller tanks, all this little stuff can make huge difference and can cause a swing in your tank.
Yeah. Because when I stick my hand in my 55-gallon, the cleaner ras is on me instantly. It's like a shark.
See?
Fresh meat. Give it to me.
Yeah, give me that.
I want a piece. So he's always
it.
picking on me. I hate him. So now I just ordered a glove. So long gloves you can put up to your armpits. So now it can't bite me anymore.
Yeah, I haven't bought gloves yet. I'll be honest. I do put my hands in the tank at least maybe once a week to once every 2 weeks. But I make sure the night before I didn't use any chemicals. I didn't work on a car. Cleaning something with Lysol or anything, any kind of contaminants or chemicals, I try to avoid them.
Exactly.
And then just keep washing my hands with a BRS sells a soap, and you can use that. It's a little bit more abrasive to get some of your dead skin cells off. So I use that, and it's not very there's not a lot of suds in it. So I just use that first, and then I wash my hands off a few more times. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can do it, right? But at the same time, the longer you have your hands inside, the more stuff's going to leach out of your own skin. So
just a quick dip is nothing.
Yeah. I get in there and I try to do what I need to do. And the fish don't do nothing to me. They already know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I just clean the rest. He finds dead skin on my arm all the time. He just picks on everything. The last time he got a big chunk out of it, he started to bleed.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. And he got so happy, got a big chunk of meat.
He's like, yeah, let me just take this little piece right here.
Yeah. It was a little piece, and he just started to rip it, and it got even bigger piece.
Oh, my gosh. Now that's one really active cleaner ass, man.
Yeah, he's on everything. He's crazy.
Oh, who's crazy? Sorry.
His cleaner ass. I wanted to rip his skin off.
Oh.
I was like,
he's a psychotic murderer.
Yeah.
He sounds crazy.
No, my cats are psychotic. My male was sitting on the table. I'm walking by with a full bucket of water. He jumps Not into the water or in the bucket, but into the bucket.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, are you an idiot? Of course, spills water everywhere because he hit the bucket. And I'm like, oh, goddamn. Anyway, I got that up and running, so I'll be ready in about 4 or 5 hours. So
Nice.
it's like, I was just thinking while I was mixing it, and I'm thinking, you know, there's so many videos that have been made, but it's like you want to take chunks out of all these people's videos to make one good video so you can see all the steps, because we leave stuff out.
Yeah, you forget.
You know, that, oh, I should mention this, right? Like, make sure when you're with your salt, when you first open it up, it's fine, whatever. But when you go to open it after you've already opened it, you got to mix it again.
Yep. Because
that top layer is absorbing moisture, right? You know, like, you don't think about it unless you see it. You know, I had a guy bring over, you ready for this? He thinks he's doing me a favor. Well, I got a free sealed bucket out of it, but so he brings over this bucket of reef crystals. When I open it up, the salt that's inside is hard as a rock. And he goes, can't you still use it? I'm like, no.
I can throw it at somebody.
Not when it's got that much moisture in it, no.
It's a weapon now.
I said, I mean, you could use it technically. I said, but I'll tell you, you'd have no idea what else is in it. You don't know what it's soaked up, right?
No.
And he's like, oh, no, it's all right.
It's not worth it for just $40 or something, 30.
No, not at all.
So
you have to keep your salt in a dark and dry place.
Yep. And you know, it is sometimes just the foolishness of the question. You have to tell them, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what you asked. It has nothing to do with you. You know, if no one ever told you, how would you know? You know?
Oh, yeah. That's what I like about these streams. Everyone you can ask any question, you know, and it's better you ask than not ask, because you could jeopardize your own success in the hobby.
Yep.
I've had a guy, and I forgot his name now. I don't like putting names out there, but he did jump on a different stream, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been using Windex the last couple of weeks." I'm like, "You got to stop that. It's gonna get into your tank." Yeah. What do you mean? I'm like, "No Windex. Use vinegar and water. Use just water. Shit. Use something."
Well, that being said, now that's true. But what I tell people is when it comes to Windex, 1, do you have a rimless tank? No. Okay. 2, when you're spraying the Windex, you're doing it away from your tank and into the paper towel, right? And they're like, no, I sprayed on the glass. No. Right?
Everyone sprayed. I have not heard somebody ever say, yeah, sprayed it into the towel. I'll be honest. I have not heard a single.
No, they spray it right at the tank, right? And it's like, no.
And now that goes up in the air. Whatever is left over, it goes right in the water. So.
Right in the water. Yeah. Good job.
I use Windex when I clean my glass, but I sprayed it at a towel in the kitchen.
You have to.
Oh, that's fine. Then you're the first person I know that actually sprays it into the actual towel and then brings it to the actual glass.
Yeah, because I'm lazy. I don't want to walk in with
it straight into it.
And I'd be the second guy for you, Bubba, because I've never sprayed it at the tank, right? But it's just that thought process. The same thing as and no names here, but they were in the stream, not one of mine. They were in another stream, and I could hear the and I'm like, who's spraying something? And this person says, oh, I'm just spraying air freshener. And I'm like, oh my God, we just found out what's wrong with your tank. And she's like, what? Yeah. I'm like, do you have Scentsy candles too? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, you can't use that around a fish tank.
And then they wonder why they have white slime and why they have stuff starting to go south, because that stuff gets in the water. I mean,
and you're just, but you know what? If nobody tells you,
it'll travel. People don't realize it will travel in your house. All the way to the other side of the house.
Yep.
So open up your windows, and if you're going to do something, just don't spray too much.
For me was the Febreze. Explaining to people the method for Febreze when you have a fish tank. You have to have your windows open, and you have to not spray from too far of a distance. You got to find a balance so that you get it on the couch and not in the air.
Yep.
Right? I said, and even then, it's going to do stuff in the air. So you have to have the windows open to counteract that enclosed environment, right? People just...
No, you get a pH drop and you get all kinds of weirdness going on. Yeah. If you have a setup with the RRP, you'll see it moving. It's like, oh, there it goes.
No, it's the same thing with dosing peroxide. And people are asking me, so I just... Well, remember what I'm telling you, that you can do this. you have to be super hyper vigilant about your tank because you can wipe out your tank trying to fix something else with that, right? You're putting a chemical in there that technically normally wouldn't be there, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and it's like, yeah, I'm not saying it's dangerous. What I'm saying is that you have to, everything's with caution and patience, right? You know, don't say, oh, well, Craig said I can put 1 mil per 10 gallons. I'm going to put 2 or 1.5. No, it's less than 1. If in any way you are nervous about what you're doing, don't go the other way.
No, don't even do it.
You know, or don't.
Yep.
Because the simple fact of the matter is you could burn the hell out of your tank. You'll just nuke it down. It's over. Right? And you'll be more pissed off than when you started.
The only reason why I have hydrogen peroxide and it's sealed, you know, the expiration date and everything,
is
just in case there's a power outage and I'm down for many hours. And I have to put in some to oxygenate the water. That's it.
Yep.
I know people use it for other reasons, but I do not personally use it for anything else.
And unless you need to, you got it. That's just it. I have battery operated pumps for my power outage, and I'm going to pick up a new battery pack. You know, the jumper packs that have the plugs, camper packs.
Yeah, those work great.
Right, and just that way I can put a heater on, and I can, you know, just a small one. And you know what? Keeping the tank at 74 degrees is better than nothing.
Right.
You know, and little things like that. And I tell people you can survive a power outage. You just have to plan ahead. You know, don't try to go and get this stuff after the power outage is hit, because guess what? The store's probably got no power and can't sell you anything anyway.
That's I got 3 battery operated air pumps laying around.
That's good. Yeah, have those ready because you never know. I've gone through 3 power outages in the last year and 4 months.
I have 1 in 10 years.
So
I have 0.
Oh, you're lucky then.
I've been super lucky this year.
Yeah.
This one was
a
planned
one. The other channels are talking about different devices and different new tech that works great and monitors everything with Apex and other, you know, DHL and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I sometimes feel people forget to still stick to the basic part of it. You know what? What is your lifeline to the tank?
Yeah, well, what's the big thing?
Down,
you got it.
What do you have to be able to keep it going? I mean, don't get me wrong. The tank's going to be fine depending on the water and the bio load and everything else. It'd be fine for maybe an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2. Yeah. But you need to get circulation in there, and you have to get a pump in there. So
there we go. Tim just said his elk's at 9, which is, again, there's nothing wrong with that number. High. Anything in the teens starts to become a problem. But
as long as it's stable, it's good.
Yeah, mine's always the same. Mine's between 8.5 and 9.
There you go.
That's the same as my pH. It's always 8.8.
Yeah, that's fine.
8.8?
Yeah.
If it's stable, I mean, that's fine, but that is actually really on the high
that's
side.
Really high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really high.
You're headed for super base. I think that's base, right? Yeah. You're headed for a super base.
Are you using a RODI, Tom, or no?
No.
Oh, because it's going to
I'm waiting for it to get in.
It's going to burn right through your DI.
You're going to burn through DI resin.
Yep,
yeah.
Like crazy. That's why I'm asking. If that's what's coming out of your tap, or if it's really kind of high, then...
No, our tap water is pretty clean, so...
Oh, okay.
Not as clean as you think it is.
Dude, mine is horrible out here. My TDS is 800 plus, so...
Yeah, we've had super debates about that, haven't we, Bubba?
TDS is about 100.
Debates about what? The TDS?
Yeah.
So your TDS coming in is 100?
Yeah.
I'll make you cry, man. Mine's 27.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. That's nothing.
And I still wouldn't ever use my tap water in my tank because I know it's dirty because my sediment filter shows it all, right?
Oh, you're getting well water then, if it's that low.
Nope. City water. Welcome to Canada, buddy. We have the best fresh water in the country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a few that are bad. Toronto, the bigger cities that have a lot of pipe systems. The thing with St. John that's bad is it's old. We still have wood pipes in some parts of the city.
Oh my! Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty wild when you see them dig it up and here's this rotten pipe, right? And it's like, why wasn't that replaced? We didn't know it was there. We just knew the pipe went there. So when we dug it up there, we found it. My uncle, who he passed away about, I guess, a year and a bit ago now. He wasn't my real uncle, family friend, very close family friend. He worked for the city for years, and he worked in the water department. He's the one that, like, he was just surprised. They'd find junctions, cisterns, right? And they were made out of wood.
Oh, wow.
right? And he said lots of copper, lots of things that shouldn't be there anymore. And they did a section of Orange Street in uptown South End St. John, which is the oldest part of the city, 236 years old. And they replaced 2 blocks worth, and not like your guys' city blocks, like maybe a mile, and it cost $43 million for them to replace all this. And they said, no, we're not going to be able to replace it all. We'll just keep piecing away at it, because it was going to cost something like $1 billion to just do the South End.
That's insane.
And my city's not big. It's only 72,000 people.
Yeah, well, you can't really pay for that really quickly.
No. Well, they can't pay for salt, man. For the streets, oh my geez, we've run out of salt. We've run out of budget for plowing. We've had all kinds of issues. This city is dying, and everyone's like, "Why is it dying?" It's because they shut down the dockyard, so that we don't build ships anymore. So the minute that went away, you have the largest oil refinery in Canada, Irving, and you have the pulp mill, Irving, and that's the 2 biggest employers. And it's like, yeah, there's just no money, guys. Everyone's moved out of the city too, so you're not even generating taxes on that.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, that sounds like you're right. Slowly going down.
It's dwindling down, and yet they're replacing the water system. So we were having a whole new water treatment plant going in on the east side here where I am, and they're just in the process. That's going to be rolled out 2021, so that most of the city now will come from that side, and just to keep the Loch Lomond reservoir from running dry, because they were starting to get a little worried about it. And so now we're going to be pulling from another source as well. So it's like, okay, cool, I guess. But man, there seemed to be nothing wrong with the water, guys. But okay, who's lining whose pockets there?
Yeah.
Wow, the chat is lagging far behind. Tim, if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm sending him a message.
Yeah, just let him know. Like, we're well beyond that. Yeah, something's lagging there.
Because when you said I've used ICP test, we talked about that like 30
minutes ago. Yeah.
It's been a while. So I'm like,
And it could be he's just picking up on it now. Who knows?
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, Tim.
All right, Tim's got it.
We want you in on the convo, man. We want you in on the convo.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Definitely.
But no, it's like, and again, I'm not out to bash streams. I'm really not. But it was that right there is what I saw going on. I saw people ask a question, and the guy geez, I'd have to go look it up. But he's on the, of course, the feed's there so you can see it. And his thing was he had asked this question about what was going on with his tank about 4 or 5 times in 4 or 5 different streams, and nobody answered his question. He's like, and me and Jeff answered it within seconds for him, right? And it's like, well, you're welcome, right? I said nothing against those streams, but when you have 45, 50 people chatting in a stream, it's going to be really hard to get your question answered if nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, what's crazy is that once some of the other channels start to get bigger or larger, it is going to be a lot harder to get some questions answered. But as long as people are patient, to just kind of just wait to get it. I mean, thank goodness he didn't get impatient and found you guys to be able to answer it. Because I still rather go to a live stream than a forum any day, personally.
Absolutely. Yeah. We know I hate the forums. Let it be known Craig hates the forums. We already know that.
If I knew, somebody in the reef community is, expert in euphilia or expert in water quality or whatever it may be, I'll probably try to reach out to them first before even asking my question. But if it's something that I think the whole community can answer quickly, I'm just going to be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? And like the ICP test, I've never sent one
Absolutely.
in. So I didn't know
you're okay now, Tim. You need to be on track with us.
I didn't know if it was better to end up doing it right at the end before the water change so I know what's depleted, or is it better to do the water change and do it the next day and pull water? So now I know exactly what's deficient. So I was kind of in between fighting which one should I do. But
well, you know what? If it's I'm going to put an addendum on that. If you can only afford one test, do your water change with the fresh bag and all that, then do it. Only because you want to know right then and there what needs to be done.
Right.
Right. But if you can afford 2, it's just good to know what difference is that making.
Yeah.
Right.
I can afford the 2. The problem is that I don't want to end up chasing numbers. So if I get it back and it says it's low on strontium, it's low on molybdenum or low on iodine or anything else, if it's something that's kind of like iodine, I wouldn't trust myself to be dosing it too much. I'll be honest. I already do water changes once every week to 2 weeks. So if I end up putting, you know what, today I'm going to drop, 2-3 drops of iodine. Well, I only have 25 gallons of water.
Yep.
That should only be probably 1 drop.
Like 1 drop. Yeah, exactly. So, 1 drop will wipe out, or do something bad. Yeah.
Right. But I would never tell someone, grab iodine, just throw it in. Because even I'm not an expert on how much iodine I need, but through the streams and learning through others, iodine will wipe out your tank if you put too much.
do you find, well, look at poor Murphy's reefing there. He was dosing iodine, doing all this stuff, and it turns out it was mold in his room that was causing the problem, right? I mean, can you imagine? Now he's sitting there and he's got this tank full of minerals and chemicals. Yeah. And not saying that's bad, and it's not his fault. He was going after what he perceived to be the problem. And it was thankfully Cruz that said to him, like, hey, we had this mold problem that acted the same way. Is there mold in your house? And Murph went looking around and he pulled this old couch out. And sure enough, all behind this couch was black mold.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that couch is full of black mold. Now he's got it on his wall. So he got rid of the couch. He got, cleaned up the mold. And I said, please tell me you wore a mask and you used bleach. And he's like, oh, well, and I'm like, no, don't tell me because I'll cry. I said, because in Canada, we deal with this a lot because we have a hot, cold environment in our homes, right?
Yeah, so it's a sweat. Right.
So it's a sweat that you got to watch out for. Like my windows, I constantly clean black mold away, and I'll just spray it with bleach, walk away. And when I come back, I keep my mouth covered. And technically, you should be wearing a face shield, to be honest, and a respirator. But wipe it up and then immediately into a trash bag and closed. So that when I get rid of it, it's not, wash your hands, wash your face, all that stuff. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you definitely want to do that. I said, but did you know you should wash your hands, wait 10 minutes, and then wash your face?
Yeah, and they're like, mold is dangerous, man.
It's dangerous stuff. It can screw you up.
Yeah, you can get into your lungs and get all kinds of nastiness. So I've seen it, but
good for Tim. I'm glad to. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, Bubba, but Marineland did reach out to Tim. He stuck with them. They're sending him a check for that broken tank.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hell yeah. Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
Good, man.
I'm really happy to hear that. So
glad he's going to be able to also use that however he needs,
Oh, he's going to build a 100-gallon system, I think he said. He's got a tank on order or something. Timmy can tell us. Timmy.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad he's getting something back. That's normally you don't hear that too much, or too often, I should say.
Yeah. I was actually looking at my 20 and I'm going, wow, I got to do that sand bed big time again. I got to get in there and suck all that stuff off the top. And I'm going, man, the pump's coming tomorrow and I'm going to be in effing Halifax tomorrow, right?
Oh,
so that means on Tuesday when I'm home, I then have to run out. It's probably hopefully only going to be down the street at the post office, but hopefully that's where it goes. And it is because I think they sent a Canada Post. Well, yes, they did. What am I saying? I've been tracking it. Duh. So it should be down there. So I'll pick it up and I'm going to shoot a video about restarting that tank. And everyone's like, well, what's the big deal about that? I said, well, you got 2 separate systems that I've had to run, top off myself. So I have to have everything matched back up and make sure there's no ammonia in that sump, because that's where all the living stuff is, a majority of it, believe it or not. All those bio balls, that Chaeto, all that matter that can cause a real serious issue. So I'm going to have a 5-gallon water change ready for that, because it on general holds probably about 12 gallons when it's fully running. So it's like, okay, I'll swap that out, fresh salt water there, and then kick everything back in. And hopefully that pump doesn't shoot water at my wall.
Yeah. Hopefully not. That would be bad. Very bad.
Somebody said, what do you mean? I said, well, if you watch my video, the Fragtastic Day I did there, I showed the flow coming out from a DCP or a DCS 2000 coral box version of the Jabo, and it was like strong. Nothing. Yeah, it was nothing. It was just dribbling out, and they're telling me the pump's okay.
No, the actual Jabo is strong.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you're full of you're full of it. They knew I wasn't going to take no for an answer, so I finally said, well, what about if I just upgrade to the DCP 3000, right? And please make sure it's a Jabo. Don't send me the coral box, right? And he's like, no, I looked at it. It's the last one, and it's Jabo on the box and Jabo on the actual pump. I said, good enough. And all the parts are there. You're not going to send it to me and I'm missing a power supply this time again, or whatever the case may be. He goes, no, I checked it. It's all there. I said, good enough. Let's do that. And I'll pay the extra $20.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's crazy.
So I'm looking
You're buying
forward
it through
to it.
Coral View?
No, it's coming through petsandponds.com in Canada here.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
I keep forgetting you're in Canada. I keep doing that all the time. I swear.
Well, it's because the accent isn't what everyone. I'm not saying a boot nay all the time,
Yeah,
huh?
I hear it every once in a while, but I totally forget.
Yeah, every once in a while you hear me say "a."
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's in Canada.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You know, it's definitely not like remember on that '70s show when they crossed the border and got caught, and they were talking to the two Mounties.
Yeah,
We have ways to make you talk. A, right? And they would just kept saying it for about 3 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's what we think we do.
Yeah.
But no,
and you say sorry for everything.
I don't want to cut it short, but I got to do some errands and then jump on the road for a little bit. But I should be I'll probably be listening in. So to be honest, I just have to just run around and get some stuff done. Don't want to be noisy.
Well, let's actually, because of daylight savings time, it's 4:30 here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off for about 2 hours here. Get some of my day stuff done because everything closes here around 5 o'clock. So I want to get out the door here and get a couple of quick things done too. Oh yeah,
okay.
No, I'm looking forward to it, Tim. I can't wait. Yeah.
All right.
To see that.
I mean, if I'm freed up, I don't mind jumping back on the chat.
No, please do. I enjoy talking to you and Tom and Tim and Jeff and everybody else.
Fun,
I like that little group, and if it builds up from there, great. You know, but if it doesn't,
it doesn't matter. Everyone's
exactly.
So
yeah.
All right, guys.
So,
yeah, see you.
Everybody have a good afternoon, and I'll get back on this evening.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Bye.